That's true.
But you
So that's
know,
where
there's
it's like a
always a
give,
little
like,
lag there, right?
yeah.
On one side of the football.
But if
the way
you're
it
playing,
goes.
if you're playing bad defense, bro, and you have a defensive-minded head coach like Vrabe, like when we would play bad defense, bro, it's just like,
It doesn't look good on them. It's bad. And
I
then their
know.
whole fucking mood on the team is like, he's like, no matter how good the offense does, it doesn't matter because you gues stunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can win the game.
Don't matter.
You win the game by like 3 touchdowns, but if
Mhm.
the defense plays bad, you're like,
We're done.
yeah,
Yep.
it's
It does
fucking
not
over,
matter.
bro.
Yep.
But I do feel like with Vrabel, and I've talked about this before, but the detail that they have with like their organization structure and the way they communicate, like every day you start off 8 o'clock as a team meeting, and Vrabel's up there for 30 minutes talking about quizzing. He would quiz you on offensive stuff, or he would quiz you on defensive stuff for the other team.
Yeah.
So you would have to know what the offense needed to know
In front of the whole
keys,
team.
In front of the whole team.
Wow.
You know how your asshole gets tight when you get called on in front of the
That's
whole team.
accountability right there.
And you
Yeah.
can know what the answer is, and you're still thinking like, "I'll just give me a minute. I'm just panicking right
yeah.
now."
I know how that feels. Yeah, for sure. Damn.
But that's every day, and so everything was always carried over. Like team keys, like the clarity of how you were going to win is always
You
painted
all
to you.
knew. Wow.
Whether it's in the team meeting and then you carry it over into position,
Yeah.
and then at the end of practice you'll be called up. It'll be like, "Comp, what's the offensive? What's one of the offensive team keys?" And you're like, "Fuck, I'm defensive special teams."
Yeah. What do I?
And you're like trying to nudge an offensive guy, like, "Hey, what is one?" But it's like that type
He
of
wants to know how you all to know how you're going to win the game as a team collectively.
right.
Wow, I've never heard of that. That's amazing.
And if you're like, say, a defensive lineman, he'll ask you like, "Hey, tell me about so and so, the offensive lineman who's going to
Yeah.
block you. Like, tell me about him." And you got to like give, you got to give some
Details.
like bio details. Where do you
Shit.
go to college at? Like it's like that. But I think I
But you're
believe
working,
he learned that
huh?
from
Yeah.
the Patriot way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and accountability, obviously, that's what Belichick talks about, right?
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
I never heard that before. 30-minute team meeting, grilling both sides of the ball in front of the team.
Yeah.
I used to get called out in defensive meetings. Like we watch the film after the games, and I'm like, fuck, this is not going to look good for me.
Like, damn,
And
did they put this play in there?
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
fuck,
and I
here's
know
the
it's because my coach was a dickhead. I love him to death, Coach Babich, but I know he loves to embarrass me in front of the team, the defense.
Yeah.
Loves to. Brian, number 54 on this play. Look at him here, Coach. Coach Brian, show Brian here. I'm like, fuck, that's a loafer. This is, what kind of tackle is that? It's so embarrassing because, in front of your peers, you do not want to let them down.
It's just the worst feeling, man.
But everyone in the same room has felt the same. In the room has felt the same way.
Yeah.
All of them guys that are on the field, like that they're gonna have a play like that in the game. So
Right.
that's the way I looked at it.
Right. No doubt.
Sucks though.